Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Fate Extra. Now this episode, we're actually going to explore the first area of the arena. Well, the first floor of the arena. Yes, when we last left off we were forcefully taken out of the arena. For some reason that sounds wrong to me. Maybe it is wrong. I would say something about the current situation or commentate on it. Or comment on it, I should say. But my character is pretty much saying all that I want to say.
Okay.
Oh, what do we have to do? Now, why do we have to do this? What's happening? Oh. I don't know what that was. Do you guys know what it is? It must not be important or anything. Must have been something stupid. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Rin. Oh, why is she doing that? Alright, well, I guess I'll do that. That was a weird scream. For some reason, Jesus Christ, I almost said the word reason completely wrong. For some reason, that scream reminds me of like a cartoonish scream you would hear in like one of those old school collectathon platformers. I don't know why. For some reason I think of Grunty from Banjo-Kazooie, although maybe wrong on that because I've never actually played Banjo-Kazooie or Banjo-Tooie. Nor do I have any reason to go play those games. But anyway, you could go to the library or you can come over here and see what's through the door. Oh, what's gonna happen? Yeah, we better check it out. You never know. We're really worried about our servant. Yeah, that's what we're worried about. Oh, what's happening? I don't know what's happening, guys. Yeah, let's open the door a little bit more. Oh. Oh. No. Well, I don't know what that was, but must have been nothing. Nope, nothing. I don't think the game lets you see any more than what you just saw there. I didn't do anything. I didn't censor anything. That was the game, in case you guys are wondering. Yeah, let's just go to the library. Ignore everything that's just happened. Let's ignore the fan service. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. Oh, it's Leo.
Konnichiwa.
You know, it's kind of funny. A friend asked me to record a little bit more of Skyward Sword. I have only uploaded episode 5, as you guys may know. At this point, I've only uploaded up to part 5, as you guys may have known. And I actually have 2 more parts on my hard drive rendered out and ready to go. Although they were before my post-commentary switch. So I should probably upload those, to be honest. I have those on my hard drive, so I might as well upload those. So I'll upload those probably later today along with this episode, just to give you guys a little bit extra something to watch. I mean, why not? I got nothing to lose. But yeah, it's kind of... really confident that his brother will win here, although he doesn't seem to care if his brother loses. Whether that's a facade or not, I don't think we really know. Yes, I'll spoil this. We are going to have to fight Leo eventually. So that wasn't really a spoiler. I think that would be kind of obvious that we would fight Leo. I think we actually fight him in the finals, but he isn't the final boss, if that's what you guys are wondering. I suspect that he will be the person to give me the most trouble, if not our next opponent in this tournament. Well, whatever the case is, well, I'll deal with them eventually. Hey, Caster's back to normal. Hooray. You sure are, Caster. Extra bouncy. I don't know what that means. What do you mean? Yes, I want to know. What does that mean? I don't know. And I don't think that little heart icon of her cast ever appears ever again. I think that's the only time that appears there. That's what they call what these days, Rin? You gotta explain these things to me. After this, Caster will say new things in the arena. I don't know if she would have said those during the beginning of the week, or if you explored the arena while she was injured. But that's something, I suppose. Alright, Caster. Oh. Hey, Julius. Do you need something, Julius? Just 7 spouting holes of blood. I don't know how Caster knows that, but oh, there he is. Well, Julius Servant sure is There's a lot of metaphors. Bloodshed? No. Oh, it's Dr. Caster. What do you mean, Caster? What do you mean by that? Hey, that guy looks familiar. Yes, he was the guy that tried to kill us that one time. A week or two ago. But, of course, we all know that if we fight, we'll get penalized. Well, if we fight in the school, anyway. Oh, no. We'll have to fight them in the arena on this day. But don't worry, that fight is actually pretty easy. So there's nothing that we really need to worry about. Are there any more scenes that we need to see? Oh yes, this is an optional scene here, but I believe it optional in that you don't have to see it, but I think it is required to get your serpent to Matrix level 2. So you're gonna want to see this scene. If you have other achievements, if you have other scenes that you haven't seen yet, they'll take priority over this scene. So just keep exiting and leaving the private room to see this scene. Yes, I just remembered that thing that I wanted to talk about last episode. Actually isn't fully explained until next episode, I think, so can't really talk about that right now. Okay. So anyway, you're gonna want to see this scene. Because you'll get into Ally Matrix level 2. I may have said Servant Matrix level 2 earlier. So I don't know if eventually you'll get Ally Matrix level E anyway, if without seeing this scene, but I'd say see it just in case. But it has the lowest priority of all the scenes, so just do as I said and you should eventually see this scene. Which is just leaving the private room and going back into it. I think I am going to do a second playthrough of this game, but that's going to be for myself and not for the channel. But I'm unsure of what I'm actually going to do as of right now. Not sure what I'm actually going to do after this game, actually. I guess I'll just continue Skyward Sword after this. I'm thinking of what to do with Skyward Sword, because I may have it just be uploaded on the weekends along with Super Robot Wars, and just along with Super Robot Wars just on Friday, and well, not Friday, on Saturday and Sunday. So that might be what I do with that series right now, but I'll upload the extra episodes I have on my hard drive as soon as possible, just so they're out there and I don't have to worry about them being on my hard drive. An odd smell just came into my room. This is completely unrelated to the video, but something odd came into my room. An odd smell. It smells like some kind of perfume, maybe? Doesn't really smell like anything, but it like burns my nose whenever I sniff. That's not the right way to put it. The only reason I compared it to perfume because I tend to have the same reaction compared to really like cheap perfume, I guess. And it kind of reminds me of what you call it, like Windex or something like that. Not the smell, but just the way it my nose reacts to it. But anyway, a new enemy. One thing I do have to knock this game for is that it likes to reuse enemy models. There's a lot of reused enemy models, I should say. They're often just recolors of each other. Which are fine, I guess, but actually, we do see a new enemy model in the next floor of the arena, so I suppose that's something. If you're wondering why I'm using a bunch of healing items here, it's because I'm very paranoid of Caster dying. I don't want her to die, so I use healing items very frequently. I suppose I should mention this as well. There is no penalty for playing on easy mode. So if you're having a lot of trouble on normal mode, go back to easy mode. Nothing changes, but the only thing that changes is the fact that healing fountains appear on every single floor of the arena. In every arena. So if you're having trouble, switch to easy mode, or if you just want to see the story, switch to easy mode, because you'll be able to heal all the time. And you could just spam skills all the time for these random battles, and you can more easily grind because you don't need to really buy any healing items or anything like that. So if you're having trouble, I don't know if you can switch to easy mode, or whether you're stuck on hard mode. If the game allows you to switch to easy mode, then do that. If it doesn't, then I'm not sure. You could either start over in easy mode, or just keep trying, I guess. Because you can restart weeks, but I don't know if you keep your level when you do that. Because there's some games that let you restart, like with time-based stuff like this, that let you restart, but you start with your old level. Well, you start with the level you had when you began the week. It'd be nice if it kept your current level, but maybe, I don't know. Anyway, Shotgun Second Strike became my favorite formal wear. It's either in the next. No, I think it's not in the next floor. It's in the next arena entirely, where we get Shockwave Third Strike. But I don't like it because it only stuns the first attack of the enemy instead of like Shockwave Second Strike. It gives you more MP, but I'd prefer this instead of Shockwave Third Strike. So that's something I thought I should mention. Oh yeah, you're gonna want to destroy all the rare monsters if you want Bestial Sky to get a boost. If you don't care, then don't go after them, I suppose. You know, I didn't think I would enjoy this game that much, but the PSP has a lot of hidden gems on it, has a lot of good games on it, and it's slowly become one of my favorite consoles of all time simply because of all the great games on it. So I really need to show off more games, I suppose. What am I gonna do after this game? I suppose we'll talk about what I'll do next in terms of the games on my channel, because I'm almost done with Fate Extra. Actually, I'm getting close to the end, so I'm just really wondering what I should do next. Because I do have Jak and Daxter, the Lost Frontier here. I may rip my UMD into an ISO just so I can more easily for the load, so the load times would be shorter rather than play it off the UMD. That's what I might do. Because why not play Jak and Daxter Lost Frontier? It's a shorter game. I assume it's shorter than this. It's not the best Jak and Daxter game. It actually could be considered the worst, because it's not as good as the other ones. Well, Jackass Combat Racing also is just a racing game, completely different from the other game, so that might be considered the worst to some people because it strays from the original's formula. But as you can see, these enemies here give a lot of experience, and I grind for quite a bit in here, but I don't believe I show off what level I actually got to in this particular video here. I do show off me completing the entirety of the arena, which is why this video is a little bit longer than what I normally do. I don't like to record 30 minutes at the max, because if I have to re-record something that's like 40 minutes long, it will end up with something like Summon Night Swordcraft Story Episode 1, which is why the episode's called A Rough Start. So I'll just think of that game as well. Well, I know after Summon Night Swordcraft Story 1, I'll do Summon Night Swordcraft Story 2, and then perhaps Summon Night 5 if I ever purchase that game when it comes out. Although the issue is that I don't really want to pre-order it to get the UMD version of the game, so I may have to buy it on my Vita and then, you know, get an ISO version of it just to record it. Because I can't record my Vita just yet. I can only record my PSP, and Summon Night 5 is a PSP game, but it's digital only. If it appears on, actually, it might appear on the PlayStation Store of the PSP. So if it does that, I'll just buy it on there, and then I'll download it to my PSP, and then we'll play it. But if it's I forget if they actually closed down the US PSP store. Well, PlayStation Store on the PSP. If they did, then I'll just, you know, I'll do what I said, and then I'll have to purchase the game first. I might play it blind. No. Who knows is what I'll do. Anyway, this battle here, he'll wait and then counter anything you do in the 4th turn, so I don't know if he will actually counterattack you if you attack him while he waits, but I don't do that, so just use a skill on the 4th turn, you should be fine. Just do what I do and you'll be fine. This actually could be considered the easiest servant battle of all because you won't ever get hit if you do what I'm doing right here. Again, if you're playing with other servants, just do exactly what I'm doing. Just use a skill on the fourth move here. And really, a servant here really isn't a big deal. And there we go. That's that. Yeah. Oh god, it looks like Julius is in front of a servant there, just because of how the invisibility worked for a servant. Because it looked like Julius was like a tiny thing on his shoulder. It was a little bit weird, but nope, I didn't notice that until I actually played through, until I watched this video. So I suppose it really isn't that noticeable. It's equivalent to weird sprite layerings where, I don't know what would be a good example. I guess in Mario Luigi Superstar Saga, where if Mario gets an item, it'll sometimes look like he's on top of Luigi. That's kind of what happened there. And anyway, there's something new for us. Babylonian coin, and that's what we needed for Taiga, I believe. So. That's something. I actually downloaded Movie Studio 13, the trial version, so I could actually test out the recording and its video editing software. So I could check out its video editing capabilities and whether or not it's suited to my purposes. It looks pretty good. The problem is that the file sizes are too big. Done all that I could. This episode, 720p, was 777 megabytes, and that's way too big for me. I can't have files that are that huge. My current software puts out videos in okay quality, and file sizes are small for the most part. If I'm playing a console game, usually the file sizes are a little bit bigger because there's a little bit more going on screen. But overall, the quality is good for me, and I don't want to. So I'm just going to stick with my current video editor, which is VideoPad video editor. And I won't switch because I'm used to that video software. It's worked for me so far. I could have better quality videos, which is bigger file sizes, if I lower the compression rate. I don't do that because I don't have that great of an internet connection. It's all right. It's good for my purposes. I would certainly like a better internet connection, like better upload speed is what I really want. But this is not available to me right now. So anyway, this is another rare monster that we can fight. I believe he'll only appear on this day, so you can't come to this arena during the next day. You want to get everything in the arena on this day, because the arena, the second floor of the arena will open up tomorrow, I believe. So you want to get everything on this day. A lot of the enemies that appear here will appear on the arena on the second floor. Well, all the enemies that appear here will appear on the arena on the second floor. I guess it's because they didn't expect you to actually grind here, but I grinded here long enough where I knew every enemy's patterns 100% of the time. And enemies here weren't too difficult, and you get a decent chunk of experience for every enemy you fight. Anyway, that's how you deal with the Nephilim. Just spam your skills and you should be fine. And they do drop a decent amount of experience, so they're worth killing. to lessen the pain of grinding, I suppose. Anyway, the Staff of Fortitude. I should have equipped it here. What it does, I thought it just increased MP. Because I saw boost MP 40 there, and I thought that's what it did, but I didn't saw the bottom part, which was MP heal. It can recover your servant's MP. So I would recommend you actually equip that and use that when your MP gets low. That's gonna pretty much how you're gonna grind in the arenas from now on. Is just spam skills until you know enough of your opponent's pattern to not use skills anymore. Because you could just easily just buy a bunch of MP restorative items, and you'll be fine. Because you can just recover your servant's MP, and they should know. And if you have Shockwave's second strike, you can just use Bestial Sky and use a skill with caster, and you'll kill enemies in one shot. And that's how I've been dealing with most arena enemies here, actually, is by using Shockwave, second strike, then Bestial Sky, and then a move. I was running out of MP, but that's because I didn't realize the Staff of Fortitude actually recovered MP. I was running out of MP for caster, I should say. So do that, and you should be fine overall. You probably want this item anyway, because in New Game Plus, a lot of these items will actually be incredibly helpful. I think about it. The reason I want to do New Game Plus of this game is just to finish the Mother Saber playthrough I started a few years back. That'll be for myself and not for any of you guys. So anyway, this video is going to end in a little while, so I'll see you guys again next time, whenever that is. Bye!